I was going to give you my Bob Dylan, but you cut me off.
Based. HBO are based.
Okay.
They stand with JK Rowling. I don't want to hate Bob Dylan. HBO are based. They stand by JK Rowling ahead of the Harry Potter TV series. So basically, it's like, yeah, she's got the right to express her own personal views. So, yeah. Well done. Do you feel it? Do you feel like there's a turning of the tide in the air? Because I do. I feel like the pendulum is swinging. Do you feel that or not? Do you feel like the pendulum's swinging,
Oh
culture?
gosh, yeah. I've been saying it for 2 weeks now. I mean, it really. I mean, the fact that the silent majority like finally gained the stones out of their success to celebrate and push forward harder without again, the only thing that was holding aloft the ridiculousness was the extreme leftist media presentation of everything. The fact that it was repudiated here in the States and around the globe. Y'all are celebrating the win. I mean, did you see the celebrations in Japan and Korea and all these other countries? For that moment, because everybody realizes that the globalist pushback is starting to happen, and we should take up every opportunity to fight against it. So I think that Warner Brothers smells the change in the wind, and they realize they can no longer support the sewage plant. They need to support the rose garden. So I think they're headed the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, Warner Brothers were already pretty based on it. To be fair, like they've been pretty staunchly backing JK Rowling periodically, but this is just another like doubling down on it all, which I like. So basically, HBO issued a statement in support of JK Rowling and her Harry Potter TV series involvement, noting that, quote, the author has the right to express her personal views in the face of fan backlash. So Rowling, the author of one of the most successful book series of all time, has become a lightning rod of controversy in recent years, with former fans and even some of the actors from a Harry Potter film speaking out against her. This mostly centers around Rowling's views on individuals who identify with gender that differs from their natural biology, and she additionally believes that anatomical men should not be permitted in women's spaces or sports. Perfectly fair enough. So this has obviously displeased many in Hollywood, with calls for boycotts of Rowling's work ringing out every few months. Never happens.
It doesn't
Never
work. No.
However, the Harry Potter IP has never been stronger, with books, movies, theme park lands, and attractions, endless merchandise, a hit video game, and now an upcoming long-form TV series on HBO and the Max streaming service. So Rowling is set to be heavily involved in the TV series, which will adapt her original 7 books and flesh them out in a way that was never possible in the Daniel Radcliffe-led films. I think they said something like a season per book. So like it's
going to be plenty of it. It's going to be
really
closer. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be closer to the original source material. What's weird is I think they may have to break up starting like at season 5, book 5, because it get. Have you seen the size of the books? They're massive.
No, I have not actually. Genuinely, I have not.
Hang on, I'll grab it.
So there's a little bit more here. So it says, of course, any involvement by Rowling is often met with loud opposition from those who disagree with her personal views, which there was calls to boycott Hogwarts Legacy, which just led to it blowing up, which was just hilarious. So funny. Hogwarts Legacy is huge, 30 million copies, billion in revenue, just mad, absolute madness. So it never works, right? It just never works. So HBO boss Casey Bloys spoke about Rowling's involvement in the series at a press event and said that the author, quote, was very, very involved in the process, selecting the writer and the director. You're going to show me this book now?
Yeah, this is book 4. This isn't even 5. This is book 4.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty big.
This is a massive tome. I've got the hardbacks, the first editions, but these are massive. They're huge. It's one of those things where you're like, I can't believe how big these books are, and they got bigger. That's the thing. I mean, how do you think they turned the 7th book into 2 films, and they still got a lot of material that didn't make it in. So I think starting at book 4, they're going to have a lot to work with.
So he also definitively stated that her personal feelings on protecting women's spaces, quote, haven't affected the casting or hiring of writers or production staff, as it
of course not.
So representatives from HBO and Warner Brothers told Variety in a statement that Rowling's contributions to adaptations of her beloved work has been invaluable over the last 20 years. Quote, "We are proud to once again tell the story of Harry Potter, the heartwarming books that speak to power of friendship, resolve, and acceptance. JK Rowling has a right to express her personal views. We will remain focused on the development of the new series, which will only benefit from her involvement." Love it.
Agreed. Yep. Yeah, and as somebody that I respect very much, Lou Wasserman's Ghost over there at That Park Place and WDW Pro and all those other wonderful locations. He said it this way simply: Warner Brothers doesn't have a choice. If they don't support her, they don't get to make her material. You know,
Yeah.
that's a big deal. I mean, she's got final word on everything, including theme park development. So, and that's obviously with a different company. That's with Universal Comcast. Nobody wants to piss her off. Everybody wants to keep her. They want those rights, and they actually want her to keep making things, which she's supposedly at work on. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting. Like Variety did a hit piece basically on her. Just it's so stupid, like the wording. Look, this is Variety. The industry has never quite faced a scenario in which the sole creator of a beloved multi-billion-dollar global franchise has plunged so unabashedly into one of the culture's most contentious social issues. She's effectively made herself toxic to many within the core fandom, whose devotion began 25 years ago when they were children, and has sustained the franchise long after the books and the film series concluded. Well, there's a few issues with that, right? So, one, the fact that the industry's never quite faced a scenario in which someone has jumped into a contentious social issue. Well, that just goes to show that a bunch of these rich, famous people are pussies, right? They're just a bunch of fannies, and they don't want to. They've got no strength of conviction, right? They've got no opinions. They don't hold opinions. They're just vacuous, empty vessels. So I think that's important to note, actually. That Variety is essentially highlighting that these people are just disgusting idiots that don't have any opinions and don't have any conviction. They don't stand by anything because no one's plunged into anything, right? But then this is the other interesting thing. So she's effectively made herself toxic to many within the core fandom. So many is subjective. It's the minority. We know that because of the overwhelming profits that she still keeps reaping from other things, right? And it says this: whose devotion began 25 years ago when they were children and has sustained the franchise long after the books and film series concluded. That's just demonstrably false. Like these, I don't know, 5% of the Harry Potter fans that are woke did not sustain the franchise. No. They didn't sustain it at all. They weren't. They didn't like. If that was the case, and they sustained the franchise, they would have made Hogwarts Legacy a bomb because they wouldn't have bought it. But they didn't. They didn't buy it, obviously. But the majority of people did, who are fans, and so it's a success. So it's the majority of fans that made Harry Potter, a sustaining franchise after the books and the film had finished. This person who wrote this article is a retard.
Well, not this article, but the Variety article.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so Variety then goes on to turn its narrative stink eye towards the actors, who are going to be in the upcoming series. That's a weird thing to do, but all right. For any actor joining the new Harry Potter series, Rowling has thrown down a gauntlet. Sorry, they're unlikely to escape once casting for the show begins in earnest next year. You can't fault somebody for wanting to do the job. But the internet and the fandom and the politics of it all are probably going to demand that they say something. If you don't, people are going to automatically assume that you agree with Rowling. Good.
No, they should. The best thing
they should agree. They should agree.
Right. The best thing they could do is not comment at all, not lean into this baloney sausage that Cat Miller's trying to push, or any of these other idiots, because not saying anything, if you think that's tacit complicity, that's on you, right?
Yeah, I mean that's
yeah. And look, it's best they're best not served to talk about it at all and behave like grown-ups. And this is the thing. You know, don't become an activist because you think it's going to help you out. You can't people will despise you if you take a position. Don't do it. This is a
Yeah.
no-win situation for an actor or an actress going into, especially a young actor and actress. Their parents better not cave to this kind of pressure. Because these kids that are going to be in these roles will not have enough understanding of the world to know where that puts them and how at odds it puts them with the larger populace in the world. So
Yeah.
it's bad. Don't lean into it. Look at the fact that we're not seeing a lot of the Harry Potter kids work anymore. You know, they not that they have to, but I mean,
No, true.
Daniel Ratcliffe used to pretend like he wanted to continue to act. You know, and I mean, outside of
Yeah.
some cameo things, I don't know that he's done much else. And well, he did a nude play, I guess, at some point
Mm.
on the West End.
Well, zombie. Well, anyway, it's good. This is good that HBO is doing it. Zombie Box reviews a super chat here and says JK is still a lefty, but she does have base takes when it comes to men invading women's spaces. Yep, agreed. She is still a insufferable left winger. She hasn't quite woken up to everything else yet, but maybe she will one day. Who knows? The tipping barn says popcorn bucket could be Snow White in a glass casket. That'd be hilarious. I love that.
Well, I mean, it's dead. So yeah, let's celebrate the death of the Snow White franchise. That'll be fun.
Yeah.